Let me tell y'all something. Success ain't loud. It don't announce itself. It don't come with confetti and fireworks. Success is built in the dark. It's built when nobody's watching. It's built when you're up at 4 a.m. putting in the work while everybody else is asleep. It's built when you're sacrificing, when you're turning down distractions, when you're pushing through days where you feel like quitting. Success is built in the dark. It doesn't come with an audience. It doesn't come with applause. It doesn't come with people cheering you on every step of the way. It happens in the quiet, when you're alone, when nobody is around to see the work you're putting in. That's the part people don't talk about. Everybody loves the success story, but nobody wants to hear about the long nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, and the doubts that come along the way. Most people want instant results. They want to work for a little while and immediately see the rewards. But real success doesn't work like that. The ones who truly make it understand that everything worth having requires patience, discipline, and persistence. It's about grinding when nobody is watching, when nobody is clapping, when nobody even believes in you. It's easy to stay motivated when people are watching, when people are giving you encouragement. But the real test is what you do when there's no validation, no recognition, and no immediate payoff. The best work is done in silence. Think about an athlete training for a championship. The crowd only sees them on game day. But the real work, that happens in the empty gym, in the early hours before the sun comes up, in the late hours after everyone else has gone home. That's where greatness is built. The same thing applies to every area of life. Whether you're chasing a career goal, building a business, working on your craft, or improving yourself, the foundation is built in private. People want to skip the struggle and go straight to the success, but that's not how it works. There's no shortcut to greatness. It's a process, and that process happens behind the scenes. It happens when you're working while others are sleeping, when you're studying while others are partying, when you're sacrificing comfort today for a better future tomorrow. That's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Most people don't have the patience to stay committed when they don't see results right away. That's why they quit. They start something, and the moment it gets hard, or the moment they don't see instant success, they give up. But those who make it understand that the work you put in today might not pay off for months, for years even. And that's why they keep going. They don't need validation. They don't need applause. They don't need people telling them they're doing a great job. They just keep working because they know that success is coming, even if nobody else sees it yet. The problem is that too many people are addicted to recognition. They want credit for the work before they've even put in the work. They want people to see their effort and acknowledge it. But real success doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need to be announced. The ones who truly succeed are the ones who understand that the grind is not about being seen. It's about being consistent. The strongest foundations are built underground where nobody can see them. The tallest buildings, the most solid structures, they don't start above ground. They start beneath the surface. That's the way success works. If you want something great, you have to be willing to do the work when nobody's looking. You have to be willing to put in hours when nobody sees it, to keep going when nobody acknowledges it, to stay focused when nobody is checking in on you. If you only work when people are watching, you'll never make it. If you need recognition to stay motivated, you'll never last. The grind is lonely, it's quiet, it's unappreciated, but that's where success is built. The seed grows in silence. It doesn't make noise when it's planted. It doesn't shout for attention while it pushes through the dirt. It simply does what it was created to do, grow. Underground, where nobody can see it, the real work is happening. The roots are digging deep, spreading wide, creating a foundation strong enough to support what's coming. But on the surface, there's nothing. No sign of progress, no proof that anything is happening. And this is where most people give up, because they don't see results right away, because they don't think anything is happening, because they expect success to show up overnight. The process of growth is unseen. The struggle, the effort, the pain, it all happens in the dark. When a tree begins to grow, it spends most of its early life underground, developing the roots that will sustain it. Nobody celebrates this part. Nobody claps for the roots. But without them, the tree would never stand. The same thing happens in life. People want to see progress immediately. They want instant results. They want to show off success before it's even fully developed. But the strongest, most enduring success is built quietly, behind the scenes, without recognition. People have a hard time trusting the process because they don't understand how growth works. They expect every effort to be immediately visible. They think if they put in work today, they should see results tomorrow. But real success doesn't happen that way. It happens gradually, beneath the surface, before anyone even notices. And the people who make it are the ones who trust that process. Even when it looks like nothing is happening, they keep working, keep grinding, keep pushing forward, even when there's no proof of progress, because they understand that the foundation is being built in silence. There's a reason why nature works this way. A tree that grows too fast without strong roots will fall the moment the wind blows. A building without a deep foundation will crumble under pressure. The same principle applies to people. If you try to rush success, if you try to skip the part where you build your foundation, if you focus more on being seen than on actually growing, you won't last when challenges come. The storms will come, the pressure will come, and if you haven't developed your roots, you won't be able to stand. The problem today is that too many people want to be seen before they're ready. They want the spotlight before they've put in the work. They want the rewards before they've built the discipline to sustain them. Social media has made people obsessed with showing off their progress instead of actually making progress. They post their goals, they announce their plans, they tell the world what they're going to do, but they never actually do it because they're more focused on looking successful than on becoming successful. The truth is, real growth is personal. It's not something you need to prove to anyone. The seed doesn't ask for validation. It doesn't need applause. It just grows. It focuses on its own process, its own journey, and one day when the time is right, it breaks through the surface. And when it does, it's undeniable. Nobody questions whether the tree is growing once they see it standing tall. Nobody doubts the process once the results appear. But by then, the work has already been done. Most people don't understand that success works the same way. It's built when nobody is looking, when nobody is clapping, when nobody even knows what's happening. It's built in the sacrifices, in the quiet mornings, in the late nights, in the moments of self-doubt that nobody else sees. And that's what makes it real. That's what makes it last. Because anything that's built without a strong foundation is temporary. Anything that grows too fast without deep roots will eventually collapse. The people who succeed are the ones who understand this. They don't chase attention. They don't look for shortcuts. They don't worry about whether people recognize their effort. They just keep growing quietly, consistently, relentlessly. They trust the process, even when it's slow, even when it's painful, even when it looks like nothing is happening. And when the time comes, when they finally break through the surface, when they finally step into their success, the world will see what was happening all along, but by then it won't even matter because they already knew, they already put in the work, they already built the roots, and that's why they will stand tall no matter what comes their way. The seed grows in silence. It does not announce itself when it is planted. It does not make noise as it begins to push through the dirt. It does not demand attention while it develops its roots. It simply does what it was created to do. It grows. Long before it ever breaks the surface, before anyone ever sees a sign of life, the real work is happening underground. The roots are stretching, deepening, strengthening, preparing to support something much greater. But to the outside world, there is nothing. No proof, no visible progress, no evidence that anything is happening at all. This is where most people lose patience. They give up because they do not see the results fast enough. They walk away from their dreams because they expect immediate success. They believe that if there is no visible progress, then the effort is wasted. But just because something is not seen does not mean it is not growing. Growth happens in the unseen moments. It happens when no one is watching. It happens in the long hours of practice, in the sleepless nights of studying, in the early mornings of training. It happens when you are showing up day after day, putting in the work even when there is no immediate reward. The strongest foundations are always built in silence. A tree cannot rush its growth. It cannot force itself to the surface before its roots are strong enough to support it. Moral rule 2. A tree cannot rush its growth. It cannot force itself to the surface before its roots are strong enough to support it. If it does, it will collapse at the first sign of struggle. It must take time to build its strength, to prepare itself for the storms that will surely come. The problem is that too many people want to be seen before they are ready. They want to show off their progress before they have built the foundation to sustain it. They want the rewards before they have put in the real work. They chase attention instead of discipline. They focus on looking successful instead of becoming successful. They spend more time announcing their goals than actually working toward them. But the seed does not do this. It does not seek validation. It does not try to prove itself to anyone. It simply grows in its own time, at its own pace, without the need for recognition. Social media has created a culture where people feel the need to broadcast every step of their journey. They want the world to know they are working, grinding, hustling. But success is not built in front of an audience. It is built in the moments when no one is looking. It is built when you are up before the sun, putting in hours of work that no one will ever see. It is built in the sacrifices, in the struggles, in the times when you feel like quitting but push through anyway. The seed understands patience. It understands that growth is not about how fast you rise, but how strong you become. A tree that grows too quickly without deep roots will not last. It will fall under the weight of its own success. That is why true growth takes time. It requires consistency, dedication, and resilience. It requires you to keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. It requires you to trust that the work you are doing now, even in silence, is building something far greater than what you can see today. The process cannot be rushed. The seed does not question the timing of its growth. It does not look at other plants and compare its progress. It does not try to force itself to the surface before it is ready. It simply focuses on the work that needs to be done in the moment. It takes its time knowing that when it finally emerges, it will be strong enough to withstand whatever comes its way. Most people fail because they do not trust this process. They give up too soon. They stop watering their dreams because they do not see results fast enough. They lose faith because they do not understand that real success is being built even when it is not visible. Everything great starts in the dark. The seed grows in the soil. The baby develops in the womb. The idea forms in the mind before it ever becomes reality. Nothing truly valuable appears overnight. It is created in the unseen hours, in the moments of struggle, in the times when you feel like you are making no progress at all. But just because no one can see it does not mean it is not happening. Just because the world is unaware of your effort does not mean it is wasted. True growth does not need validation. It does not need an audience. It does not need approval. It just needs time, patience, and a relentless commitment to the process. Talking about the grind isn't grind. And there is a big difference between saying you are working and actually doing the work. Too many people waste time announcing their goals, telling the world what they are about to do, making big declarations about their plans, but when it comes time to actually put in the effort, they fall short. They get so caught up in the idea of success that they forget the part where success requires action. Talking about the grind may get attention, but it does not get results. Real work does not need an audience. It does not require validation. It does not seek approval. The ones who truly succeed are too busy grinding to talk about it. They do not have time to convince people they are working because they are actually working. They wake up early, they put in the hours, they stay consistent, and they do it all without needing to announce it. They understand that success is a product of discipline, focus, and sacrifice, not words. People get addicted to the idea of progress instead of the actual process of making progress. They talk about their dreams, they post about their hustle, they tell everyone what they're going to achieve, but they never take the real steps to make it happen. They get caught up in the illusion of movement, thinking that because they are discussing their goals, they are moving toward them. But talking about something and doing something are two completely different things. The grind is not glamorous. It is not something that needs to be advertised. It is early mornings, late nights, rejection, frustration, and doubt. It is failing and getting back up. It is working in silence, unseen and unappreciated. It is the unrecognizable, uncelebrated effort that eventually leads to undeniable success. But most people do not have the patience for that. They want immediate recognition. They want people to notice their effort before they have even put in enough work to deserve it. The ones who spend the most time talking about their hustle are usually the ones who do the least. They convince themselves that their words are enough, that their declarations of ambition are just as valuable as actual effort. But effort is the only thing that matters. Progress is not measured by how many people know about your plans. It is measured by how much work you are willing to do when no one is watching. If you have to constantly remind people that you are grinding, you are doing it wrong. If you need validation to stay motivated, you are not truly committed. The grind is not about making noise. It is about making moves. It is about being so focused on your craft, on your improvement, on your journey, that you do not have time to seek approval. It is about letting your results do the talking. It is about putting in so much work that when success comes, there is no need to explain how it happened. Talking about the grind is easy. Doing the work is hard. That is why most people stay stuck in the same place. They mistake talking about their goals for actually working toward them. They think planning is the same as executing. They believe that because they have big dreams, success will somehow come to them. But success does not care about what you say. It only responds to what you do. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is simple. Some people talk about it, others do it. The ones who make it are the ones who keep their heads down, stay consistent, ignore distractions, and focus on the only thing that truly matters: putting in the work. Let them doubt you. Let them think you are wasting your time. Let them believe you are chasing something impossible. That doubt is not your problem. It is not your burden to carry. People will always have opinions about what you are doing, about what you are capable of, about whether or not you will succeed. They will project their own fears, their own insecurities, their own limitations onto you, and if you are not careful, you will start to believe them. You will start to let their doubts creep into your mind. And once that happens, it becomes easy to slow down, to second guess yourself, to hesitate when you should be pushing forward. Doubt is a reflection of them, not you. People doubt others because they doubt themselves. They look at your dreams, your goals, your ambition, and instead of seeing what is possible, they see what they could never do. They see their own failures, their own excuses, their own lack of discipline, and instead of facing that, they try to bring you down to their level. They try to convince you that what you are doing is unrealistic, not because it is, but because they cannot see themselves doing it. The most dangerous thing you can do is let their doubt become your truth. If you believe them, if you start to listen to the voices telling you that you will never make it, that you are wasting your time, that you should settle for something safer, you will lose before you even begin, because success is just as much about mindset as it is about effort. If you do not believe in yourself, if you do not trust your own vision, you will never have the strength to keep pushing when things get hard. People doubted every great person who ever achieved something remarkable. Every entrepreneur, every athlete, every artist, every leader, at some point they were told they would never make it. They were laughed at, criticized, underestimated. But the difference between those who made it and those who did not was simple. They did not let the doubt stop them. They did not let the opinions of others define their path. They used that doubt as fuel. The truth is, if you want to achieve something great, you have to get comfortable being alone. You have to be willing to wake up before everyone else, to work while others are resting, to sacrifice nights out, distractions, and temporary pleasures for something bigger. Most people will not understand. They will question you, tell you to slow down, tell you to relax, tell you that you are missing out, but they do not see what you see. They do not have your vision, your goals, your hunger. They only see what is in front of them. You see what is possible if you stay focused. The road to success will require you to leave people behind. Not because you do not care about them, not because you think you are better than them, but because not everyone is built for the journey. Some people will slow you down. Some people will not understand your drive. Some people will even try to pull you back because your ambition makes them uncomfortable. They liked you when you were average, when you were just like them, when you were not pushing yourself beyond what is normal. The moment you decide to step up, to break away from the pack, to demand more from yourself, you will see who is really in your corner.